Hello and welcome to Reginaldesq. I'm Underhook and this is my review of the Swedish Tier 8 tank destroyer, the Udes 03 or the Udes 03. I'm not sure how you say it, but anyway, is it any good? Well, it's okay. I'll say it's okay. It has very good camouflage and no armor, and so as a tank, it's not very good. But as a non-armored tank destroyer, it's pretty good. This particular brand of tank these days is not favoured in the game because there's very few places that you can hide and be 15 metres behind bushes and then not be spotted from another angle or something. So if you're not 15 metres behind a bush, as soon as you fire your gun, you will be spotted. So it has great camo, but the great camo goes to virtually zero when you fire the gun. And this tank uses siege mode, which is the mode where, I'll show it to you later, but it's the mode where basically the back of the tank raises up and you are locked into that mode, which increases your accuracy and all that sort of stuff. And this does not have, the gun does not move from side to side at all, has no traverse, so it's actually the tracks that turn. Now the benefit is that while it's turning the tracks, your camouflage net will remain active, and your binoculars will remain active, which is why I have those on this tank. I want the best camouflage I can possibly have and the best vision I can possibly have, and yeah, so that doesn't deactivate. However, it does turn reasonably slowly, it's not very fast, and also you'll have a max speed of about 3 kilometers per hour when you're in siege mode. This is a big problem with this tank because when you are spotted, which you will be if you fire your gun, you have to wait, well, you have to try and get out of siege mode. It takes 2 seconds to get out of siege mode and then you can start moving. It's pointless trying to move in siege mode because it just crawls. It literally is about 3 kilometers per hour. So what happens a lot in this tank is you fire, you are spotted, and then you die because you can't move. Now, I guess on the tier 9 and 10 you could call the siege mode a balancing factor because they have fantastic armor frontally and almost, well, I find them impossible to penetrate with any tank I've shot at them with so far, unless I use HE. I can do damage to them. I haven't been able to damage them at all, the 9s and 10s, because they have magic armor. Also, the pay-to-win tier 8 version of this tank, the STRV, whatever it's called, also has the magic armor, but this one doesn't. So this one, even when it's in siege mode or whatever, and frontally, pretty much every time you shoot at it, you will almost be guaranteed of penetrating. I think it's got about 40 mils of armor all round, and it doesn't have the magic that the other tanks have. So this one can be penetrated. It's quite funny though, I've had a few situations in this tank where I've actually been on a death wish because I've just been in a position there's nothing I can do, and I've driven right up the tanks and pushed my nose into their tank to shoot them, and they've ignored me, or they've looked at me and then just looked at some other tanks and started shooting some other tanks and let me basically shoot them because they've thought, well, if they got me mixed up with the tier 9 one, I thought, oh, I won't be able to penetrate this guy, and they just leave me alone. And it really all I have to do is shoot at me and I'll die. So yeah, you get that a few times, but so it's kind of like, it's a real problem in this tank, the going into siege mode without having the magic armor benefits. It's really bad. With the tier 9 and 10, apparently, what it looks like to me anyway, is that you can take a lot of hits. So being stuck in a siege mode isn't a problem so long as nobody's got sort of side shots on you. You can pretty much take the hits. This you cannot. Anyway, let's talk about, we've got a crew, they're fully trained, I've got 100% concealment, but my sixth sense isn't active yet, and that has been a real problem. So being in siege mode without sixth sense and then having to wait 2 seconds after you realise you've been spotted, usually you get hit and then you're sitting there for another 2 seconds. If I had sixth sense, it probably wouldn't be so bad, but I just don't have a good enough crew at the moment. This guy has clutch braking and I'm working on concealment, and this guy has concealment and he's working on situational awareness. So not a particularly well trained crew, but you definitely want sixth sense on this tank and you definitely want concealment on the tank. If you can possibly get those two things straight away, it would be good. I have vents fitted to increase my camouflage as much as possible. Camouflage net and binoculars, because like I said, whilst you are traversing in siege mode, they stay active. So they're kind of, I guess, the way to go as far as I can tell anyway. So that'll give you a bit of an idea of what's happening in the gameplay. As usual, I only fire standard ammunition. We'll have a look at the armor and stuff and then get into some gameplay. I have got a really good game coming up for you too. So here we are on the Tanks GG website. We have the Udes, the tank we're reviewing on the left here. We have the Chinese tank, the German J-Panther, the French AMX, the American T-28 and the British Charioteer, just to give a bit of a comparison. So our DPM is 2000. That's better than the French at about 1800, but all the others have substantially more DPM, mainly because their guns do a lot more damage. We have really good penetration now. 288mm of penetration is awesome, and you can see here that the next best is 271 from the Chinese, and the worst is 246, it looks like, from the German J-Panther. So 288, great penetration. So you probably don't have to use premium ammunition if you're someone who normally uses it. Probably don't have to use it as much. Damage of 390 though is the equal lowest, along with the British Charioteer. The others have a bit more. Look, these guys only have 10 more at 400, but we've got 490 with the J-Panther, and the Chinese one has 560. Chinese tank destroyers seem to be quite popular, and I think they're probably pretty good. That's my impression anyway. Module damage is kind of lowish, along with the Charioteer. Rate of fire of 5.13 is surprisingly not that good when you consider it has the equal lowest damage per round. It also has the equal, well, it's not the lowest per round, but you've got the WZ and the AMX are 4.29 and 4.57 respectively, but the Charioteer has which does the same damage per shot, has a 5.94 rate of fire, and so does the T-28 prototype, which does more damage as well. And so it's a bit of a weird one, and the J-Panther, which has the same rate of fire, does 490 instead of 390. So that's interesting. The what else have we got here? Sorry, the shell velocity though is epic at 1385. That's very, very fast, which means it's easier to hit moving targets or targets at long range with that very high shell velocity. The Charioteer actually has even better shell velocity now, which is super fast at 1478, and the others are all much slower. So that is an advantage. The dispersion, let's have a look. Gun handling. Aim time is 3 seconds, which is the worst of the bunch, surprisingly. So the next worst is 2.8 on the Chinese WZ, and the best is 2.3 on the J-Panther. So 3 seconds of pretty poor aiming time. Accuracy of 0.35 is the equal best, but we know that doesn't mean a lot. And the worst is 0.38, so there's not that much difference between all of them. Anyway, you do not get an accuracy advantage by going into siege mode, which I believe you do in the tier 9 and 10s, but you don't in this tier 8. What else have we got? Elevation of 20 degrees. And it says here depression of 0 degrees. That is while you are not in siege mode. When you're in siege mode, you actually do get here, it's got, it doesn't even say there, but you do actually get pretty good gun depression in siege mode. You've probably got, well, I don't know, it might be 8 or 10 degrees. It's probably 8 degrees. It feels like about that. Does have good gun depression, but only in siege mode. When you're not in siege mode, the gun is very difficult to use because you only got 0 gun depression. So unless you either butted up right next to a tank, like basically just ram them and fire, you have to be on a slight downward slope if you're going to shoot someone. Quite often you'll be like facing someone, but you'll just hit like a little pebble and you're going to be pointing way above their tank. So you really need to be in siege mode. Although I have seen on the forums people saying that they do use this tank out of siege mode whenever possible to keep the maneuverability. So that is possible if you want to put it on a slope, because you don't lose accuracy like you do on the other ones. So that I haven't tried that tactic, and maybe that's worth a go. The other ones, we've got 10 for the American and British, and the others are all about 6, which isn't that good. Forward speed of this thing is very fast, so 70 kilometers an hour in forward, although I don't think I'd really ever hit 70, but you will probably hit in the 60s, and 50 is quite common. So yeah, it is quick, so you can relocate and run in this tank, which is good, and it is a small target, so sometimes you'll be able to get away. The next fastest is the French at 50, no, is the Charioteer at 52, and then French at 50. The slowest is of course the T-28 at 28, but then it is heavily armoured. Reverse speed is also 50 kilometers an hour, so it's actually really quick in reverse. when you're not in siege mode. So it can actually sort of run away in reverse, which is quite handy if you're being chased by a scout tank and you want to move backwards and then sort of turn towards them and try and actually shoot them. It can kind of help. What else have we got for you to show you here? It is not a heavy tank, 20 ton. So anybody who rams you does massive damage to you. There's not much you can do about that. Track traverse of 28 when you're not in siege mode is actually okay. Equal best, not the equal best, sorry, it's about average here. The best is the J Panther and 38. So it's kind of okay, and when you're in siege mode it's shockingly bad. It drops down to about 8 instead of 28. Hull armor, it's 20 mils all around, so it's completely useless. Every gun in the game will overmatch you. So you can get the odd ricochet, but that's it. You will only ricochet, there's nothing else you can possibly do. 1,000 hit points isn't much, but then none of these TDs have many hit points, that's just how they are. View range of 350 is not good. It's got it here as being, yeah, it's the worst. Okay, so the others will have at least 360 up to 380. 350, it's not very good. So you really kind of rely on other people to spot for you, which is a bit of a problem. If anybody is within 350 meters and you shoot at them, they will see you, unless they're like a much lower tier heavy tank. But everybody else, pretty much, who's tier 8, 9, and 10 will spot you. So you have to be kind of really careful with your positioning on that. All right, let's have a look at the armor. So back into Tanks GG, looking at the armor. This is going to be a quick one. All the orange bits you see here are 20 millimeters of armor. The red sections are 30 mils, so you've got a little bit there with the track providing extra armor, and that little section in front of the driver is more protection as well. There's a little bit of spaced armor here on the side, which is 15 mils over the top of 10 mils. Big protection there. That will assist, and this little bit of track armor here will assist if artillery lands close to you. It'll help protect from splash damage. That's about it. The whole back of the tank is also 20 millimeters. So yeah, you do not get the, you can see here where I'm just looking at it, there's no ricochets here anywhere. So unless maybe you're like that, I have had a couple of times where I've got just a slither showing behind something and I've had the odd ricochet here, and I have ricocheted once or twice off one of these myself playing against them, but you can see, I don't know how you get the ricochets, just must be just that percentage chance, or maybe they hit here from the front, the sides. There you go. That's probably what happened. People hit that and ricocheted, but otherwise it never ricochets. Now I said that it had no gun traverse. It does actually. It has 2 degrees of gun traverse. There you go. So it can traverse a tiny little bit on this one. Apparently the later ones don't traverse at all. There you go. So this is an example of using the tank without going to TD mode. I see this lower here on lowish health. I go in, put a shot into him. At this range you can actually do it, and out the back he doesn't have the gun depression to get a shot on me. And he's going to drown me here because I'm much lower than him. So I have to pull out here so that I can shoot. But I think he might be deep enough that his gun won't fire. And that was actually... No, it was normal speed. Anyway, there you go. I'll give you another example. Okay, so here's another example where I decide to go and try and get the back of one of these tanks without going into siege mode. And because he's above me, my 0 degrees of gun depression doesn't matter. This thing has a fantastic reverse speed, as you can see here. I'm doing 45, 47, 49, 50 already. And so I can get well out of the way and get out of the, until I'm not spotted anymore. Then I'm going to go back and have another go. So you've got a good demonstration there of the reverse speed and then shooting the gun whilst not being in siege mode. Uh-oh. This time he's coming after me. I'm not in siege mode. You can see my gun depression. It was really hard to get a shot on him. I actually couldn't get that shot into him. I think he must be empty and he was maybe going for the ram. I don't know. He gets a shot into me there. I get a shot into him and I'm getting hit by that other tank up there. But that was to show you the difficulty in manoeuvring and the difficulty in getting your gun low enough to hit your enemy when you're in that position. The map is Halluf, and we're top tier. It's a tier 8 game. 4 tier 8s on each team. Now, this is an unusual game, and I don't really use camouflage much because there's not a lot of camouflage on this map anyway. And it's quite an unusual game. So that's why I'm showing you this one. And then the next game I have for you, I do a ton of damage, but I use the camouflage and all that, and 15 metres behind a bush and all that sort of stuff. So 2 completely different games, just to give you a bit of a range for the tanks, how it works. So something's been spotted down there already. I've just gone, I'm just going to siege mode now. You can see the tank there starting to lift up. As you can see, if I get out of siege mode, you can see that the tank, the front basically tilts down because the back lifts up. So the back basically lifts up, but it is, as you can see, very, very slow. That's top speed in siege mode, folks. So I've gone back into the sniper view, but for some reason it's not in sniper view. Or maybe I'm out of sniper view in the game. Must have been. So I've gone back here to see if we can get a shot, but we can't at the moment. There he is, though. He's coming to view, and I put that shot into him. I immediately start backing up and click the button to get out of siege mode. You can see there it lowers. So after 2 seconds it lowers down, and I back up. I would have been spotted pretty much for sure, so I decide to basically get out of this as soon as I take the shot. I mean, you could hang around and go for the second shot, but probably if you do that you're going to die. Anything that shoots at you will almost certainly penetrate you. There's no armor. As we saw, 20-30 mils of armor in front of the driver is your best bet. Alright, so I'm just going to speed this up to 2 times for a second. So I use this bush to spot from. Used to do this in Clan Wars in my STB1 when there was no light tanks and mediums were the best spotting tanks in the game. And but I'm not spotting anything on the other side. I don't think the view range is good enough in this tank, especially not with a crew that doesn't have view range mods. So no, nothing really going on there. I'm going to speed it up to 4 times. So it's been spotted. I'm going to slow back down now to normal speed. So I start moving aside to stay in siege mode while I move, but it's probably always going to be quicker maybe to wait the 2 seconds to go down and then wait the 2 seconds to go up again. Now you can see here the gun depression is actually pretty darn good. Back to 2 times. Oh, you can see the artillery just went for me. Gonna go back to 2 times again. Just while we move it, because it's a bit boring here because I just stand around out here and I'm basically taking a shot and then just running away again. Waiting until I'm not spotted. But you saw the artillery was kind of probably waiting for me to do that to pop up there again. So we're still at 2 times. I've gone back into siege mode. I'm just trying to see. I'm really worried about tanks sitting on that opposite ridge. But there's nothing. I don't think there's probably anything there. Might go to 4 times here. Oh, back to... no, that tank got killed. Okay. Back to 4 times. So our tank is moving up there. Because our tank is just down there, I'm assuming he's going to spot some TDs up on the ridge there, hiding. But he didn't spot them. So I was ready to take shots at them, but he didn't spot them. So he got shot by somebody though. So I'm moving up again, just to see if I can spot somebody here, because there's no one to spot for me anymore. So I'm now trying to do my own spotting. Just going to go to 2 times. Here we go. So we have actually spotted somebody. I assume I spotted them, and we get a good shot into a 425, which is well above our average damage. As I hit I think it's X to get out of siege mode straight away, but it had to wait the 2 seconds before I could back up. Nobody shot at me, so I was probably spent long enough that Artie wasn't after me anymore, not watching that spot. He wasn't getting any results out of it, so he's probably put his attention somewhere else. But I'm pretty much defending this flank at the moment, so I've got to do something about this guy. So I'm going to try and take a risk here. So I poke the region back up. So what I'm trying to do there is just highlight him so somebody else can shoot him. There's artillery again. And too slow, Mr. Artillery. So I didn't go into siege mode that time. But you can just imagine if artillery knows where you're going to shoot from, he's ready there. And then you shoot, get spotted, and then you're still in siege mode. That's why I think you really need 6th Sense in this tank to be effective. Now I notice we're getting flanked, so I decide to come up here. And I'm just going to siege mode again. I just noticed on the map there's nothing stopping the enemy heavies and TDs coming around the corner now. So getting ready here, I can see that our other tanks are going up to the spot. So I have actually been watching my map. Yay! Yay for map watchers everywhere. So the game is fairly even. As you see, we've both got about 6 tanks remaining. And here comes... And there goes one of the enemy heavy tanks. And I don't know if anybody else is going to come around the corner, but there's our... is it a Centurion, is it? Oh, is that the Challenger? I think it's the Challenger. I can't read fine red text very well. My old eyes won't do it. But I think that's a Challenger. There is a Challenger alive on their team, and it looks like it starts with a C, so I'm guessing it's a Challenger. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm probably just going to go straight for him. If I try and get into siege mode, I'll probably get shot, because I can see there's another tank on the right as well. He doesn't see me coming, and we basically ram in and shoot him. I didn't shoot until I hit him and stopped, and then I took a shot, because with 0 degrees of gun depression, any little bump, even at fairly close range, can actually throw your gun well above the tank and you just completely miss. And I didn't want to be stuck sitting next to him. So anyway, that was a bit of fun. We took that guy out. So another example of using the tank without being in siege mode. You really need to be really close though, and pretty much or completely stationary before you fire, because I have had a couple where I have actually the other day I rammed into the back of a tank that was pushing our other heavy tank off a ledge, so I just had to rush up. I hit him in the back and fired and missed. Like I rammed the back of this tank, big tank, fired and somehow missed. I don't know where the shot went, but yeah, so it's really dodgy without being in siege mode. Alright, so now I know there was another tank that was approaching on the right, so I decided to move up and see if I can spot him, but there he is, right there. Now I don't know if he... I assume I just spotted him, and I don't know if he saw me or not. But I'm stopping here because it's a downward slope. I did want to get close to him in case he's a very low tank, in case my gun went over him. So I took the shot from up there. He's put one into me. I'm almost dead, but I reload before he does. So pretty lucky there. And they only have 1 tank left, which is artillery. Now, I'll just show this just so we see how fast this thing goes down the hill, because I think they said it can do 70. So let's see how fast we go down this hill. 77, 80? Wow, 80. Well, I think it hit 89 there for a second. Okay, so I take it back. It does do the 70 that it says it does, and downhill, wow, that was fast. But I mean, if you can't go fast down the hill of Halluf, you can't go fast anywhere, but that was pretty impressive. Let's see the hill climb here. 50, we're getting the 30s now. 21. Power to weight ratio isn't that good then. Like a heavy TD or a heavy tank, like a slow one, would probably do about 11 up there. So we did 21, which is still good, but it's not awesome. But really, the rest of it was good. We're looking at you, Udes. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I missed the rest of the chat. What, did I do something wrong? Oh no, somebody's going for a Top Gun. Okay, or something like that, are they? Yeah, the E25 wants a Top Gun, so they're telling me not to kill Artie. They're saying go away. How do they know I'm even going to shoot it? I might just spot it and leave it there, which I actually think I did intend to just spot it and leave it there. But they're all saying, oh, they're gonna one shot me. They're gonna kill me because I'm going to spot this tank. Anyway, it's nowhere near me. End of the game. I don't kill it. So stats for that game. That was a class 3 in the tank. It was a fun little game. So just sort of show you, because it had a bit of varied gameplay in it. We finished sort of middle ground for our team. We did 2,065 damage, which is not bad. We only got 1,000 hit points, so it's not too bad. 7 shots fired, all of them hit, all of them penetrated, which you kind of expect when you're top tier in a TD. 2,065 damage, as we said. Only one shot was really long range. We had a lot of short range shooting there. We got hit twice, and of course they both penetrated. We did get splashed, but I don't think it actually did any physical damage. We just got a stun out of it, I think. We hit 4, destroyed 4 tanks, a little tiny bit of assistance damage, and I just sat on cap until they killed Artie, so I got a little bit of base capture points. And there you go. The map is Erlenberg, and this time it's a tier 9 game. The enemy team has a Motion Mushroom, a T95 and an AMX 1390. We also have that tank, a Foch and a T49. So I'm just going to speed up to 2 times because you've already seen the speed of the tank in the last game, and I'm expecting a scout to try and spot us on the right any second, because they always do, but I'm far enough away, it probably shouldn't spot me. No, there's the SP1C, and this game, fair income. Alright, now we're getting into spotting position. For some reason, I'm just going to pause this. No, I won't pause it, but I'm just going to go into settings. It's really irritating me, this. Vehicle model, I don't want the player's name, ever. Vehicle model, yeah, okay. It keeps changing. It changes on me for some reason every game at the moment. Anyway, so now that should be alright. Now, the guy next to me there just got hit. That tells me that I'm safe, because they didn't spot me, but they did spot him, because they didn't shoot me. So they must not be able to see me. So, okay, now there's the that tank, and there's the SP1C. So I don't think I can pen this guy. No, I take a shot at his lower plate, which, thinking about it, was really stupid, because not only did I have a red indicator, but I was shooting down at him onto his angled lower plate. It was really stupid. Now I back up, but it looks like I haven't been spotted. Like, I back down so no one can probably shoot me from the other hill anyway, but I'm thinking maybe I haven't been spotted. And artillery isn't raining down on me, so I don't know what happened there. I did draw a ancient Celtic symbol on my desk as I fired that shot. That may be what protected me. But anyway, I'm also thinking maybe I'm about to get proximity spotted. I'm not sure. A bit worried. I see this 112 up there, and I decide to give him a serve. Oops. And now I didn't get spotted, which really surprised me. So I see this T95, and I shoot the back upper section of the T95, which is normally a good place to pin it. The 112's coming back around. I realise these guys cannot see me. Now, I did tell it earlier to show me the bar and the percentage, but it's just showing me the percentage of health, tank health left. So apologise if that's irritating you. It's irritating me, but I keep changing the settings. It keeps changing back. We get another shot into this 112 who still can't see us. What's going on? Tier 8 tank and he can't see us. So I'm assuming these guys here are going to proximity spot me. That's what I'm really worried about now. I can't believe that I've got away with this. And now I see there's a SU-152 there, so I come up a little bit to see him. I'm really worried about driving into the enemy's proximity, but we get away with that shot as well. We still haven't been spotted. Now, the only thing stopping these guys driving straight up that hill and spotting me and me dying instantly is that tank of ours, the VK there on my right. So he's got really good armour, and he is simply stopping them from coming up the hill, and he is the only thing out here besides me. There is a TD way back behind me, an AMX, which you can probably see on the map, but that's it. Now they're coming up the hill. I put one into the side of the Martian's turret. Look how close he is to me. I'm double bushed though, but right here I'm not really double bushed. But even here, now, there I'm double bushed from him. We get that shot of the T95. Now T95's turning to face me. I think, okay, I've been spotted. Game over. I find the weak spot on his cupola on the roof. He moves a little bit though. Then I see the weak spot at the back. We go for that. Okay, end of the game, right? One shot. He's going to one shot kill me. He's aiming at me. Now he's wiggling. He doesn't know where I am. Can you believe it? How close to them am I? And they can't see me. Is it that, or do they think I'm the tier 9 and they can't penetrate me? I don't know. But I don't think they can see me. I think I found a secret spot. Here's a Tiger 1. Bang! Into the turret. This is turning into a lot of fun. No, he manages to get away there. So this VK is still saving my life. But that Tiger got through. Aha! Artillery hits. Now I don't know if it's because I've been spotted. He only splashes. It doesn't actually hit me, fortunately. There's the Tiger. We're double bush, so fair enough he can't see me. So I've got to keep that VK alive, because if he dies, these other tanks will be able to come straight up the hill with impunity and I'll be dead. So I'm trying to watch his back and get this Tiger. That's my top priority. But because he's going back after the Tiger's not coming back around the corner. Now my family has just arrived home, so if you hear lots of yelling and screaming and kids and stuff, that'll be what it is. So I apologise for that. There's an RHM. How that did not penetrate him, I do not know. So we did, we tracked him, I think. This one, I'm trying to track him with this shot as well and get the shot in as well. So he's been damaged. He killed the VK though, which might not have happened if my shot had penetrated. Now here comes this Martian. He knows I'm here. He's being cautious. I can see his cupola, but then I see, well, why shoot the cupola when I can get rid of that guy? So I get rid of that guy. I still don't even know if I've been spotted. I must have been spotted. I'm hoping I can shoot the underneath of his tank, but we do get the lower plate because it's flush angle to us, and now I'm in trouble. I'm waiting for a reload, and yeah, didn't have much trouble ram killing me. And that is the end of that game. So, apparently that's what a mastery game looks like in the Udes 03. Also got high caliber. Let's have a look at the next screen. And we did a lot of damage. It's hard to read there as we go to the next screen. Obviously we finished on top for our team. We didn't win the game though. We lost the game, which is a bit of a bummer. So we fired 17 rounds. Of the 17, they all hit. Pretty close range, so hard to miss. 15 penetrations, which is against, you know, tier 8, tier 9, that's pretty good. We did 5,384 damage. Apologise for all the background noise. We received 2 penetrations and 1 ram. Splash damage twice, but didn't get much damage from Yardy actually. Enemy vehicles spotted 2. We damaged 7, destroying 4, and did 300 spotting damage as well, or assistance damage anyway. We made a lot of money, but most of it was because of that modern Christmas bonus. I had it at 48% though, so we got a big bonus for that. But all in all, pretty good game. Now we got raw XP is down here, and it's, I think it's 1200 and something there. That figure there, whatever it is, that's the raw XP. I think it's 1254 or 1294. Can I see it better on the previous screen? Oh, it says 813 there, but it didn't count my courageous resistance bonus, which was there. So 451 for courageous resistance plus the 813. That's yeah, 1260 something about that. So that's what it is to get mastery in this tank at the moment. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching my review of the Udes 03. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to Reginaldesq. Have fun!